Hey there, my friend. Hello, how are you today? Hope that you are doing just fine. My name is Amner Hunter from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. This time around, we're going to be checking out a couple of cool new free VSTs, and also I want to share with you a couple of great and very interesting and relevant deals at the moment in some music production tools. As usual, I will leave you all of the applicable links in the video description and the first comment, and I will also leave you timestamps in case that you want to move around between the mini segments of the video. Let's go quickly through the plugins we're going to be covering up today. First, we have this cool free modulation synthesizer by the company Sample Science. Also, we're gonna be checking out this Lifeline console version lite by Excite Audio. Currently, it costs $29, but I'm gonna leave you a coupon code in the video description and first comment that will drop this price to $0. Alright, this is a cool channel strip or multi-effect 5-in-1 effect plugin. And for the deals, we're gonna be checking out this cool passive active pack of equalizers by Softube. 3 EQs, very musical EQs. Currently has 87% off here at Plugin Boutique. Only $19 for these awesome equalizers. And also we're gonna be checking out this new deal at Audio Plugin Deals, the Clipper by Black Salt Audio, only $19 as well, 61% off. I believe this is the lowest price I have seen this clipper. Very simple to use but very powerful. Before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website amnerhunter.com, where you can get some additional freebies such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating it almost every day with tons of content like this. Let me know if you are here in the live chat or in the comment section. Hello, Mark. Thanks a lot for being here, my friend. Mark Lee, a subscriber for some time now in the channel, right, Mark? Thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate it. So let's go to my session here and start checking out these cool freebies. Alright, so let's begin with the Modular Synthesizer by Sample Science VCO. Sample Science always releases great sample packs and also virtual instruments. By the way, you don't need Contact, Decent Sampler, nor anything like that. And this is no exception for their awesome catalog of freebies. So this Modular Synth VCO, actually it's an emulation of a module analog piece of gear, right? And this will give you this sound that you're gonna hear in a moment, but you can shape the sound in many ways using all of the features and controls included in this free version. So first you select the type here of waveform: rectangle, saw, sine, and triangle. This will give you 4 different very dramatic changes in the signal. Then you have the voice, poly, mono, legato, the low frequency oscillator waveform, triangle, sine wave, saw, square, exponent, target, pitch, expression, and pan, source, mod, wheel, aftertouch, or velocity, and the filter here, low pass and high pass. You can also synchronize the delay to this time signatures, the delay time, and the left and right, and the velocity curve with normal, weak, and strong. This is like the intensity of the notes that are being played. and how this synth will react to that. Here you have the ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, and release, that will shape the sound very dramatically. For instance, if you increase the attack, you're not gonna have the initial like transient of the waveform, right? And this will give you a very pad-like sound where you have only the tail, for instance. You can play a lot with these 4 controls alone. Then you have sound preamp, will add some, I believe, preamp character, and modulation will add some movement, the depth, the rate, amp range, floor and ceiling. Then the filter cutoff, at which if you select here low pass or high pass, this will be the cutoff, right? You have the main tuning and volume of the output, and you have here also 4 effects such as distortion, the drive, gain, mix, delay. You can turn on and turn off these effects like in these buttons. The delay has time, feedback, mix, and the chorus has frequency, depth, mix. The reverb has size, damping, width for more stereo widening, and mix, right? And here you have some notes that you can like play using a MIDI keyboard or something, or your mouse. All right, so let's check out the sound by default. All right, let's go through the different waveforms. Okay, monophonic. Polyphonic has different sounds into one, right? So it's cool. Okay, low frequency oscillator. So for instance, let's play with the attack here. Some fluctuations. Low pass. High pass. All right. Let's add some distortion. I'm gonna change it here to rectangle. Delay. All right, chorus. I like how the chorus opens the sound, like from mono. And finally reverb. So you can shape a lot the sounds in different ways to a more like percussive sounds, or more like pad-like sounds, like very dreamy and trippy. Pretty cool stuff, right? By Sample Science. like always. All right, let's move on with the next freebie in this list. Is the Lifeline console version Lite, right? With the coupon code you will get it for free. It's in the video description and first comment, by the way. So this is a 5-in-1 effect plugin, right? It includes some preamp, saturation like bright, warm, and dark. You can introduce some saturation with the drive, some push and pull. You can also link these two controls here. All right, and we're gonna of course listen to some examples in a moment of each one of the modules. Also, you have EQ. You can use it as a gain, vintage, or dirty. These are the three modes, and here you introduce, pretty cool that you have also the shape here, like for high shelf, right? And you can also use it as low pass, so you actually can see the shape of the EQ curve. And for the lows is the same, right? A low shelf or a high pass or low cut, right? Whatever you want to call it. Double click and it resets by default. And you can change also the modes here. Also, you have compression, pretty cool. You actually can like visually see the compression happening, the reduction, right? As you turn down the threshold, you'll start to see the gain reduction. You have the makeup, which is gain compensation, and the blend knob, right? This mod is modulation in the form of like tape, vinyl, and cassette. It will create some fluctuations, imperfections in the audio, and you can add depth and speed. The speed will increase the speed of the fluctuations, and depth will also strengthen the effect, and of course the blend knob, right? And you have finally the wear, which will also introduce some imperfections to the audio, tape, vinyl, and cassette, and some noise, some artifacts, and age. This will like increase the age of the device, like older, and therefore like more lo-fi sounding, right? Pretty cool. And you have an input and output, and you have also some extra controls here in the output. Warm will introduce some lows, shine, some sparkle in the highs, and here you have a blend of dry, clean signal, vintage signal, more analogy, or just completely dry. Okay, so let's begin in this drum kit with the preamp. Warm preamp. You also have an output for each module here. Okay, let's check out the EQ. Some brightness. Some lows. Okay, and compression. Turn down the threshold. There. You start to notice the impact due to the compression. It also has, by the way, automatic gain compensation. Pretty cool. It's doing it like riding the till it compensated the volume after the compression. So pretty cool. Okay, some modulation. You see the speed faster. Okay, finally the wear. Some analog noise, artifacts, crackles, H, more lo-fi, right? Clean, vintage. You have a very cool analog machine right here with tons and tons of character. Also, let's check out quickly this plugin here on these guitars to add some saturation. Some brightness. Some preamp. Let's cut some lows. Alright, just to give you an example. Let's move on with the next plugins in this list. This is a pack of passive and active equalizers, and I'm gonna talk about the features of the three of them, and I'm gonna use them separately in some instruments here. So we have the passive EQ. By the way, these two, the passive and active, are emulations of analog pieces of gear, European units, I believe, from what I was reading. The passive EQ, the purpose of this is to give you like very broad curves, very musical broadband EQ curves, right? And the lows, the highs, and this presence you can choose like from 700 hertz all the way up to 5.6K, so it's in the mid-range area, right? And you have an output for this, so very musical curves for these three ranges, right? The active EQ has the option to give you more surgical EQ boosts or cuts, and you have also three bands: the low, middle, and high band. You have here the decibels, right? By default, it comes in -2, and here are the frequency, right? Here are the lows, 180 by default, 1300 in the mids, and highs 6.5 kilohertz. And here you can turn off the that band, and you can choose narrow or wide EQ curve. All right, more surgical here in the narrow band, of course. And this EQ also comes with a low cut and high cut. Here it's like, for instance, cutting at 80 hertz and below, 500 hertz and below, and here you are cutting in the highs like 15K, 12K, and above, right? And output as well. And finally, we have this focusing equalizer. This is not like an emulation or something. This uses some untraditional and unconventional EQ curves, but still very musical. And this has also the low gain, mid, high gain, and also can be used as passive or active. And pretty cool addition of this is the saturation knob, which I believe is included, or well, I believe this knob, it's like the plugin you can get for free at their website, the one knob saturation. And I believe this is the same algorithm with one knob, and you can choose here 3 saturation types: high, neutral, or low, right? Neutral, I'm gonna leave it in this case, and you have also a low cut and high cut, right? You see here the frequencies from 20 to 20K. All right, so let's first use the passive EQ, this like mixbus. Right, let's add some highs. Right, some brightness, and let's pretty cool. Here you have the bands fixed, right? I'm sorry, the frequencies. Like here is 60 hertz, you're boosting or cutting. Here in the highs is 10K, and here you do have the choice of the frequency that you want to boost or cut, right? 700 all the way up to 5.6K. So for instance, let's remove a bit of 700 hertz. Well, here you cannot, you cannot cut, you can only boost. Let's add some mid-range. All right, and let's go with the next, the active EQ. Let's use it on these, yeah, it's in these vocals, yeah. So let's check it out.
I feel it taking over.
A lot of lows, unnecessary lows on those vocals, so let's cut here.
I feel it taking over. I feel it in my bones. These skills mean everything. It's
yeah, a lot of low end rumble, so 160 here, a low cut.
I feel it.
Let's apply a wide EQ boost in the highs.
I feel
So,
it taking
8K, for instance.
I feel it in my bones. These skills mean everything. It's necessary and credible.
All right, let's cut with a narrow Q, the low mid area.
Taking over. I feel
Here in the 700 hertz area, you can find some nasal frequencies sometimes.
I feel it taking over. I feel it in my bones. These skills.
Okay, cleaner, more polished vocal sound, all right? And finally, let's check out the focusing EQ on these guitars. I love the saturation on this plugin, on drums, guitars, bass, pretty much anything. Let's check out the guitars first, isolated. Super full sounding guitar sound. Let's add some brightness. Let's also cut some lows. And use a saturation, which I love. Before. Pretty cool set of EQs by Softube. Alright, so let's use the next plugin also in this mix. It's the Clipper plugin by Black Salt Audio. I'm gonna use it first on the toms. So for instance, I have this track. Let me play you the track first. You have some toms here. Alright. So let's check out the clipper. So this clipper is very simple to use. You just have this control to bring down the threshold and start to clip. And you have an output gain here if you need to match the input and output, or yeah, you just bring it up, right? If you need some volume out. Very simple to use. You're gonna see here after this threshold the color of the signal light blue, right? And the clippers, I love using clippers and a lot of instruments just to clip. You are like cutting the higher peaks in the audio signal, whether it be drums. Like for instance, sometimes you have a compressed signal of drums, bass or guitars, but you still some peaks still go through the compressor, still manage to go through even though you are compressing. And in that way, with clippers, you can control those those spikes in audio to prevent them from causing more damage down the road, because they can get out of control. The compressors, for instance, in the mix bus or something, if you have some peaks that you didn't control before. So for instance, it's very common for me that sometimes I'm mixing drums. I have the drums EQ'd, compressed and stuff, and sometimes the toms are a bit out of control, especially with human drummers, right? Where there are a lot of dynamics in the drum or tom hits, right? Some very high, like high peaks, and some other tom hits like at a less intensity. So for instance, let's check out the drums here. It's by default here at 0 decibels, and if we take a closer look here to the toms, okay, you have the peaks, right? For instance, that fill with the toms has like a spike in the signal. Right, and here I am preventing those peaks from interfering in the compression, like for instance in the drum bus compression or something. And by clipping the peaks, I am not changing the perceived volume, I am not changing the impact, unless you go like very down here. But if you are just focusing in the higher peaks, you are not gonna change the character of because these are very transparent, and you're only controlling the peaks. You're not losing impact nor volume. And actually, if you use clipping throughout your mix in different instruments, you're gonna have a much more controlled, consistent signal overall. Therefore, you're gonna be able to increase the loudness in mastering a bit more, because the signal is more controlled, like from an earlier stage of the mixing phase. Like for instance in that fill, like I said. So let's check it out in context. I can like increase the volume here. And still the toms are not gonna pass this. Here in this final section, you have also some super high peaks in the toms, like right that, for instance. If I would not have this clipper, it would cause like a mess probably with the compressor. It will make the compressor to react when these toms are hitting, and it can put the compressor out of control a bit. So with the clipper, I stop that from happening, because all of this is being clipped, and the sound doesn't change, right? Unless if you go down here, you start to saturate the signal, right? But if you are like just the peaks, right? It's a very healthy move to use clippers, and $19 for this is, I think, pretty affordable. So let's also test this clipper here in the snare. It's very useful and very common as well to have snare spikes, especially from human drummers. So let's take a look at this, take a listen as well. This is the snare. And you actually see the waveform, some bigger than others, right? It's normal, it's human. But with this, we can have a very, very consistent snare dynamics. And you see some peaks being clipped a bit more than others. Okay. Yeah, just the higher peaks. Alrighty. So let's move on with the, well, this is the last one, right? Oh, let's check out just one more example. Here in the mixbus, also I like to, before the limiter, when I am mastering, I like to use clippers just to get those super high peaks, right? Let's check it out here. In this song, for instance. Yeah. Like that, right? And this will cause the limiter to work better. You're leaving out some work to the limiter if you use clipper before, so the limiter will not work harder in the audio, and I think it's a pretty cool thing. And just as a bonus, my friend, I noticed Waves Audio put this huge deal in the SSL 4000 bundle that includes 5 plugins. I have 4 of them: the SSL EV2, the channel stereo, SSL channel E, channel strip, the SSL compressor, and the SSL EQ G as well. You're gonna get another one that is SSL channel strip, instead of the E channel is the G channel. So 5 plugins for like $70 something for 5 of these plugins that normally the SSL 4000's collection is around 160. So I just wanted to mention this 48 hour flash sale by Waves Audio. So let me know what you think of these plugins, my friend. I am very interested to know your opinion. I see here Josh Quattro says hi. Sound Healer, hello. Sound Healer, very good track. Thanks a lot, my friend. Courtesy of Mr. Bobby Torres of Frightbox Recording. Go ahead and check out his channel. Ken Pat, hello, my friend. Hello, Ken. So there you go, my friend. What do you think of these tools? I am very interested to know your opinions. Before we leave, let me invite you one last time to my website, amnerhunter.com, where you can get some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. I will see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.